What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool shit almost every single day, and in today's box, we have a world's first. Yes, I am the proud owner of the first ever replica version of this mask, and I am very, very excited to take it out and take a look at it.
Would you look at that?
Now, I have seen photos of this prior to it being sent out, but I have not seen it in person, obviously. And from what I can tell you, the photos look absolutely perfect, especially for this being the first attempt or the first ever replica of this mask. Now, typically something like this would have been saved for a Mailbox Monday, but once I saw the craftsmanship in the photos and the fact that he was sending from overseas, I thought, you know what? This deserves its own video, and that is why we are doing its own video. Boy, that was repetitive, huh? So a huge shout out to James Foster for this package. I am definitely excited, and it looks like he sent it in maybe a little too big of a box, but hey, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and jump on into the package. I will show you guys the mask, and then we will give you a brief rundown on the history of the piece that this is replicating. Alright, so it looks like we've got a note first thing on top, so I will go ahead and read that real quick. It says, "Hi AJ, here is the mask, hope you enjoy it. I wanted to send it to you since you're the one who got me into Joey mask making back in like 2014. And I figured that I nailed this mask too good to just put it in my personal collection. I do make these for sale, any versions from self-titled to Iowa, even stage used or current day versions. As soon as I get more 86 or 2015 copies, just have to contact me at James Foster on Facebook, which I will be adding into the description of this video. Hope this one gets a nice place on the Joey shelf. Cheers from Quebec, or Quebec, however you guys say that." So hell yeah, thanks James. So let's go ahead and take a look at the mask, and you bet your sweet ass it's going on the Joey shelf, I already know. And here we have it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen a Joey mask that looks like that. But this is actually a replica of what the current day. So I'm sure that you guys remember Joey's most well-known self-titled mask, the Stitch Mouth mask. Well, a buddy of mine, Mr. Mike Covert, actually owns the real deal. And he has blessed the community with not only pictures of this thing, but he actually let me shoot a video on it for my channel. So there's plenty of reference, and no one up until this point has decided to replicate it. I do believe Covert was working on a replica, but he never finished it, and now I have the world's first replica, current day, stage-used Joey Jordison Stitch Mouth mask. Boy, that's a fucking mouthful.
That's what she said.
So before I get on into talking about the replica, I did just want to tell you guys why it looks the way that it does. It became very, very apparent to us that Joey was using fingernail polish after we saw how this mask looks in present day. The way that it chips off and flakes and removes the other paint and weathering around it is very, very reminiscent of nail polish, and clearly Joey painted his nails pretty often, especially during the self-titled and Iowa eras, so it only makes sense that he had evolved from the mascara and face paint that he was using into nail polish, and he also used this for a couple other versions, most notably his Kerrang, or Gods of Metal, or whatever you want to call it. He ended up wearing that through Iowa, and I actually know the person that owns that real deal, and it's got a similar chipping effect to it as well. So the reason that you see these white areas that are pure white as compared to the darker, dirtier, weathered areas, especially on the real deal, not just this replica, is because the nail polish removed everything that was underneath it with it. Another thing that I want to point out about the real deal, and you can see it on this replica, is that there's this weird red area around the black, and it starts to go over on this eye as well, and we think that Joey was getting ready to use this mask for Iowa. So he had started adding some red on there, maybe took inspiration from his Gods of Metal, and maybe this was the earliest concept of the Iowa Stitch Mouth, or the Left Behind mask. Now, we never actually saw Joey wearing this Stitch Mouth with red on it, but it's very apparent that he was up to something with that red. It's way too prominent and just couldn't have been an accident. So now we can talk about the actual replica that I'm holding in my hand from James. I did just want to give you guys a brief rundown, that way you guys knew what was up. Clearly, this mask has a signature. I think it is pretty cool that he went ahead and replicated a signature and a little message there, because honestly, impersonating someone's handwriting has to be way harder than doing this like template style design that we've been doing forever on different Joey replicas. So I think that's pretty cool. Definitely wanted to point that out. And the authenticity that we've gotten on this thing is super, super impressive. I can't imagine the amount of work that it would have taken to do all of these layers, do the weathering, add the nail polish, and then remove it flawlessly and make it look the way that it is supposed to look. I've been doing Joeys for a very long time, and this just seems like an absolute nightmare of a Joey conversion to do. So very much props to you, sir. I am greatly impressed. I think maybe the only thing that I would even consider changing about this piece is I think these mouth guys might be a little too too long, and that could just be due to the fact that this is done on an 86 Caesar and not on an 83. I will have to do some comparing, but all in all, this thing is an absolutely beautiful replica. I am super stoked to have it, and I cannot thank James enough for sending this thing over, and honestly, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to let the mask speak for itself. So I think we're going to end the video right here. One last huge thank you to James. Thank you, sir, very much. This is a fantastic addition to my Joey shelf, and I can't wait to get it up there. And a huge thank you to you guys for watching. I hope that you've learned something, and if not, oh well. So that is going to just about do it for this video. As always, I'm going to leave you guys with some nice up-close shots of this thing, let you soak up all the detail up close and personal, and that will be that. So, say no to drugs and alcohol, be kind to bugs, don't do drugs, don't kill bugs. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you guys in the next one.
I hate AJ cause I wanna ask for. It's me fucking poppin' wheelies, driving like the NASCAR. Mask on, mask on, mask on, mask on. You might see him off in traffic, he be moving around. I hate AJ good, tag it on.